Round 4 at North Wilkesboro Speedway. The Gen 4 cars with all this horsepower and just so much fun to drive, but at the same time so scary because this track is loose. The sun is shining on the racetrack, so it's going to be incredibly difficult to manage, but the green flag is out for 180 laps at North Wilkesboro. Let's go racing. Noah Belleville leading this race. Last week in practice, this kid took off. He was something else. The 41 Office Depot car has just been, obviously, picking up from last season, has been dominant. He's been just a delight to watch. But he remains part-time, and we always bug him about it. We say, Moldy, and we call him Moldy. We say, you know, why will you never go full-time? And he just goes, I don't want to. He's like a cat, isn't he? You can't really make him do what he doesn't want to do, but he does it very well. Noah Belleville leading this race with Toby Estes behind him in the number 8 Budweiser machine, and pretty familiar as well, that Budweiser car. Ryan Pennell early on with a big incident. There goes the number 12 Altel Dodge. I think that was a Ryan Newman paint scheme at one time, but it looks like Pennell's gone around twice. This is on the 4th lap. I said Ryan Newman. That's a Bobby Allison scheme, isn't it? It looks like Tom Sears had something to do with that one as well. That's coming out of turn number 4. And this is going to be a problem. Coming out of 4. There's just the banking in 4. There's so little grip out of the corner. You give it too much throttle, and really it's game over. Tom Sears did tag the 12, and then this is coming in turn... okay, out of turn 4 into turn 1. And Pennell, now running in the 17th position, will come back to him. And it looks like Jimmy Kerr in the 75 also goes around. The Hollow Boys Racing 75 Impala goes for a spill, and James Kerr III, one of the many North Carolinians in tonight's race from Snow Camp, North Carolina. Noah Belleville not from North Carolina, and he's doing fantastic. Trying to put that 12 a lap down. Ryan Pennell also having just a bit of trouble. And that 1-2 on the outside. Now, just struggling to keep it moving in the right direction, but trying his hardest. It's difficult. It is not easy to do what he's doing. Matt Seeger passing Tristan Catania, who looks like he's also gone for a spill, and the caution is out. The 48 of Tristan Catania, the Ally Chevrolet, goes for a spill. And the first caution of the evening comes out. Tom Sears also caught a piece of that, too. Let's see what happened to the 14 driver from Southampton. I think you already heard of Catania. Yeah, he just lost it there in the corner. Catania just goes for a spill. I think Withers had something to do with that too. Maybe Withers was the product of Tom Sears getting into him. Let's have a look here. Yeah, the 6 checked up. I don't think the 14 checked up very much. And then Matt Seeger gets into him. The driver of the 16 was quick. Let's go on board with Sears. Have a listen. With Matt Seeger. So caution number 1 is out. Let's get some of those pre-roll ads out of the way. We're going to take a break, and we're going to get those annoying ads. When you pop onto Twitch for the first time, we're going to get those pre-rolls out of here. So go ahead. If you haven't settled down yet, settle down. We're going to talk about the NASCAR race that's going on, too, because a lot of people are interested in these duels. So we're going to come back with that. 60 seconds, and we'll be back with more racing at North Wilkesboro. With the second highest average finish of any driver inside the top 10 in points, Noah Belleville runs 9th out of the top 10. He's going to start on the outside of Belleville. Great jump by the 41. Racing Ricky's in the house cheering for Justin Shoup. Shout out to Mr. Shoup as well. And they're going 3 wide into turn number 1. Almost. It looked like it. Maybe my eyes are just playing with me, but that's dangerous. Cody Riggs in that number 3. He sits just in that middle lane with Tommy Withers behind him, who was involved in that most recent caution. Belleville off to a dramatic start in this one. That 41 Office Depot machine pulls out to an early lead, half a second ahead of Toby Estes in that number 8 Budweiser machine, and then the pride of Kansas City, Seth Wansing. One DuPont car leading the other. The mid to late 90s Rainbow Warrior number 9, Seth Wansing, with a personalized number 9, and a shout out to the 2-4 on the front of that machine. It's pretty cool to see. And then behind him, just losing the spot to Matt Seeger, Central Florida's Ricardo Catania in that DuPont Chevrolet. I don't think this one ever saw the racetrack. I might be wrong. I'm not sure. But in 2003, they released a special line of die-cast to commemorate each of the Winston Cup champions, 2003 being the last season of the Winston Cup. Matt Kenseth would eventually be champion. But they released a line of diecast that looked identical to this, and somebody else might know better than me. Go ahead and correct me if you know. But I don't think this race car ever saw the track, but it is a special diecast. And funny enough, I think Seth Wansing in this car here owns a diecast of that car there, running 3rd and 5th in this race. Matt Seeger in that Jeff Gordon sandwich. Justin Shoup in the number 91, the pride of Bealton, Virginia. He sits behind Briley Wright in that 2-9. Donald Ray in the number 5 on the outside has Tom Sears to his inside, the 2-time champion. Trying to get around Ray in the number 5, the pride of Rockwall, Texas, in that Exalta machine. Sears now backing up a little bit, and Tommy Withers sandwiched between Tom Sears and Thomas Andrews. And that's 3 TNT championships that he's stuck between. Sears in the 14 from Southampton, Massachusetts. Withers just south of that in Virginia. And then Thomas Andrews from New Jersey. And I'm pretty sure there's a die-cast of this one as well. We were just talking about die-casts. And obviously this Mark Martin paint scheme, if you don't know, you should. Mark Martin, one of the best drivers of all time. Hands down. Don't care what you say. And as big a Jeff Gordon fan I am, nothing is better than the 1998-1999 Valvoline paint scheme. One of the best-looking race cars ever. Just sensational. And Withers, I don't know what year this ran, but this Viagra scheme, as Withers shakes the tail out, I'm going to guess 2005, but I really don't know. But I'm sure you can get a die cast of this, and then the car behind it as well, Thomas Andrews, who's really giving him the business. Further on up, Justin Shoup making way for the 2-4 of Richie Catania. And if you haven't gotten dizzy yet, that's North Wilkesboro for you. It is 0.6 of a mile, and I don't think the Cup Series has run a race here since the very early 90s. But this place opened in 1947, and this is actually only the second time that Thursday Night Thunder has ran at North Wilkesboro. The time before that being season 4, I think, and Cody Pennell, who we don't see very often anymore, was the winner that day. Justin Shoup gets around the Bluegrass Bandit, Briley Wright. Shoup, one of those rookies, along with Matt Seeger, who's sitting in the 4th position. Seeger up 13 places from where he started this race. Smoke in the air. Someone might have just gone around. It's Tristan Catania in that 4.8. He slams the wall once again. It's trouble for the 48. As I almost knocked my microphone over. Sorry for everybody I scared, including my cat. 48 of Tristan Catania running 17th out of 17 drivers. Seth Wanton gets to the inside of that 48, and they continue to spin around at North Wilkesboro. Justin Shoup up 10 places from where he started in that 91. Tom Sears up 7 places from where he started. Tristan Catania down 9. Ryan Pennell down 4. Pennell, however, still on the lead lap. So if the caution does come out again, everybody does then go onto the lead lap, with this being our longest green flag run of the day. If you just tuned in, you haven't missed much. One crash involving the 48. Grandma Jeannie in the Twitch chat telling Noah to commit to full-time. Ryan Pennell really gets loose into turn number 1. Last week we didn't run TNT. We were off that week, but we did have a practice at North Wilkesboro as the track majestically comes out from under cloud cover. It's like they just flicked the lights on, huh? That was weird. The 1-2 of Pennell, though, he's gotten it back together. Elridge George trying to take the spot away from him. From the Bahamas. Some of these guys racing up as far north as Michigan. Elridge George from sunny Nassau in the Bahamas. Doing his thing in the 15th position, trying to get a bite out of that 12 car. Noah Belleville has extended his lead to almost 1 1/4 seconds. Cody Riggs is in trouble. One of those Bluegrass Bandits in a lot of trouble in that number 3. He's got heavy damage. And again, being sponsored by his friend Landon, with Landon's fantastic face being posted on the side of the race car. Oh, and Cody Riggs goes around. He just hits the brakes or decelerates right ahead of Noah Belleville. Gets turned around. The 41 keeps it pushing. And now that gap has been closed to 0.2 of a second. The 8 car giving it a wiggle. Noah Belleville seemingly slowing it down. So have a look here. This is... There's Noah Belleville here, and the gap decidedly just closing to that 41 car. All the while, Cody Riggs is still here. He hasn't crashed yet. What happened with the 3? car just not agreeing with him, and obviously at one point he just loses the race car. Riggs already has the damage, so he slammed the wall at one point, and then have a listen here. Oh, he just loses the car. He just gets loose out of the corner right ahead of the leader, and that's what happens. I'm thinking, why is he braking? But from that angle, just the original angle, you can't tell that he's lost the race car. So Cody Riggs goes around. That took forever. I apologize. But Elridge George still working on Ryan Pinnell. Further up ahead, Jimmy Kerr III. We saw him lose the race car earlier. And if you're also keeping one eye on the duels, so are we. Duel number 2 is underway, and it's Daytona. So while A.J. Allmendinger is leading now, he probably won't be leading 10 seconds from now. They're only 16 laps into that 60-lap race to decide the field for the Daytona 500. Jimmy Kerr working behind this twosome. John Honeybrink in the 1-8. Tristan Catania in the 4-8. Thomas Andrews trying to get a piece out of the top 10 from Tommy Withers. Donald Ray almost gets loose out of the corner. He's going to fight off the two-time champion Tom Sears. Elridge George looks like he's finally getting around the 1-2 of Ryan Pinnell, and the Bahamian elevates himself up into the 14th position where he started this race. Ryan Pinnell still on the lead lap, but the last car on this lead lap, race leader Noah Belleville, sits right there, but he's not comfortable because Toby Estes is within 1 second to him. Belleville did extend that lead to about 1.25 seconds, but now it's down to right around the 1 second mark, and at one point it got down to, I think, less than half a second. Seth Wansing in that number 9. Also a part-timer last year. Says he wants to do more TNT races this year. We'll see what he can put together. And the two-time A-squared champion running in the top 3, which is fantastic. Given that the points coming into this race look like this. Jacob Prince, the points leader, not here. Noah Belleville, only 2 points off of the points leader. He's running in first right now. Justin Shute, he comes into this race 3rd in the points. He's currently running in the 5th position, but he's up 10 spots from where he started. Shout out Racing Ricky in the chat as well. Ryan Lindemann, another one of those rookies with a fantastic start. Not in tonight's roster. Matt Seeger, only 1 point behind Lindemann out of 4th, and only 9 points out of 3rd. Seeger right now is running in 4th. There's going to be a big shakeup in these points, and we're going to find out just who can handle it, who can do it the best. We got a couple of drivers that are trying to do better than the other guy. Donald Ray right now to the inside of that 1-4. Tom Sears. With new colors on the hood. That WM for the Western Mass Mechanical Contractors. Almost go 3 wide there. He's going to need some contractors after he puts some scrapes on the side of that car, and he almost does it again. Donald Ray on the top side while Jimmy Kerr impedes Ricardo Catania in the 2-4, the DuPont Chevrolet. Now just trying to find some space. Richie keeps it pushing. He's up into the 8th position. Tom Sears just trying to hold on. Thomas Andrews looming in the distance, who's gotten around Tommy Withers. Toby Estes and Seth Wansing, they're going to get a little close. The number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet ahead of that number 9 DuPont Monte Carlo. This is the battle for the 2nd spot. Wansing behind that 8 car. He's really trying his best. Still the battle for 2nd place further on back. It's still hot. This is for 12th. Elridge George racing from the shores of Nassau in the Bahamas, trying to get one over on John Honeybrink. And the Home Depot Chevrolet. Who raced that? Because that Vigoro Chevrolet, I think that's a Busch Series paint scheme? I'm not sure. Somebody knows better than me. You've been watching this. Tell me who's in that number 18, but the Vigoro car sits out front of the 40 of Elridge George, obviously. At the front of this race, it's Noah Belleville, but in the 2nd spot, it looks like Seth Wansing finally wants to get one in front of the 8 car, and he does. That's the battle for 2nd. Wansing now in the silver medal spot. Saw Seth hit that curb. He just got a little bit upset. Toby Estes in the Budweiser Chevrolet wants a piece of that number 9. But they've got to mind the tires in this race. Driver's expected to go about 65 laps on a run, and, I mean, that could be the tires right there. This track will devour these tires. Sears in the 14 now comes up behind that 2-4 of Richie Catania. This is for the 8th spot. Trying to find out who's leading these duels right now. Got Kevin Harvick on screen for some reason, but we'll see what happens here. 25 laps into this race, Bubba Wallace is at the front in that 23 McDonald's Camry. And what do you think of that new Camry as well? If you can type away in the chat, let me know, because that new Camry it's different. Personally, I like it. I think it looks great. I think all the cars look great this year. The new Mustang looks good too. It grows on you. It really does. And the Camaro, obviously, has always looked fantastic. But no, the cars are looking really good. They're looking, you know, obviously, to say they're looking really sporty, it's kind of a cliche, right? But yeah, it's this season's crop of cars looks really, really good. Noah Belleville back to 1 second in the lead, but over the last 5 laps, how has Seth Wansing been doing? Seth comfortably sitting in that 2nd spot up until this last time around when Toby Estes is right on his back bumper. So 2nd place is still up for grabs. Toby's going to try and do it the hard way, going around the outside. Briefly 3 wide with Elridge George and the number 40 Caterpillar Camry with a little bit of damage on the right front. Sitting in 12th right now, Elridge George is the first car 1 lap down, but now Tommy Withers has Noah Belleville in his way. Well, coming his way, I should say. 68 laps now underway in tonight's race. Toby Estes in that 8 car behind that number 9. So it's 9 and 8, second and third. Matt Seeger trying to get around lap traffic. That's the 18 of John Honeybrink, who runs in lucky number 13th. And this rookie really is something else. He's fantastic. Seeger runs 5th in the points right now. Justin Shoup running 5th in this race. Shoup sits 3rd in the points with a win. The Nashville Fairgrounds went to the points leader, Jacob Prince. Second race at Rockingham went to this guy right here, Justin Shoup. And then last week at Daytona, it was him, Cody Riggs, who came away with the win. And it was one of those wins where it was, you know, it's about time. Cody's been racing in Thursday Night Thunder since forever, since we genuinely started, which feels like forever ago, which is weird because this is going to be 4 years this year. We're going to start our 4th year of Thursday Night Thunder this year, and it's been an absurd amount of races, but an absurd amount of fun. And that goes for a lot of guys, including Ryan Pennell, who Cody Riggs is driving behind. But Cody's one of those guys that, you know, you think, man, when is he going to get his first win? When is he going to get his first win? And last week at Daytona, one of the most special racetracks on the circuit, he gets the win, and it was a Dale Earnhardt moment. You know, we got together and we celebrated together with Cody, and it was one of those moments that just makes you love the competition that much more, just because of the bond that you develop through that competition. So 2 weeks ago, Cody Riggs getting that victory at Daytona was one of the most special things that I've seen in Thursday Night Thunder in a really, really long time. But just a fantastic drive. And it's a shame Landon's not here as well, because Landon would be in here celebrating that win with us also. But I don't know. Maybe he'll come in later in this race. We're only 73 laps in, and one caution so far at North Wilkesboro. Riggs running in the 16th position. A damn sight further than first that he was 2 weeks ago, but it's a long race. He could turn it around. Let's make fun of somebody else. Toby Estes. I can't make fun of him. He's doing wonderfully in the second spot, and Seth Wansing is behind him now. Toby Estes is back into second, but with green flag pit stops on the way, you've got to think, did Seth Wansing just disappear? Oh, no, he went into the pits. I thought he just blinked out of nowhere. No, so green flag pit stops now starting here, 75 laps into this race. And we have guys that haven't pitted since, lap number 1 in this race. So they're far exceeding that 65-lap pit window that we thought before. And it's only going to get further. So Seth Wansing starts the green flag pit stops. Noah Belleville, the race leader. Last time around, 21:35. Toby Estes within 4 100ths of that, 21:39. Is there going to be a chase before green flag pit stops? Is somebody going to gamble on a late race caution coming out? You know, this guy will. Tom Sears loves to gamble on those late race cautions, but it works. If you saw Mazda Mondays, I think it was a couple weeks ago, Josh Garrison staying out. Where were we? A couple weeks ago. But anyway, Josh Garrison stays out for what seems like 45 laps on a fuel run. The caution comes out just before he's about to come into pit road. He stays out. He gets his fuel. He gets his tires. He wins the race. That's possible. It's happened before in Thursday Night Thunder. It will happen again one of these days. Will it be today? Seth Wansing's back out on the racetrack. He's in 10th with fresh tires. All eyes on this guy right here in that number 9. What's the clock going to say when Wansing crosses the line? .2037. So right now, Seth Wansing running 4/10 quicker than Noah Belleville. 100 laps to go this time by. There's the 41. How soon does he come in? Did Wansing come too early? It might have been premature. We're not sure, but time's going to tell. And we're going to see if he came at the right time or if he, came just a little too early. But we're going to find out about Wansing's pit strategy in just a moment. Thomas Andrews in that number 2, sneaking up behind Noah Belleville in that 41. 28 laps to go in that dual race. Bubba Wallace still at the front. Looks like he's got Chris Bell behind him. Is that BJ McLeod in the 3rd position? All right. Well, go BJ. He just might transfer himself into the Daytona 500. How about that? And hopefully he gets himself a sponsor for the race as well. That would be pretty special. Seth Wansing now tearing through this field as Richie Catania decides he's going to come in. So that's one DuPont car in, the other one out on the racetrack. Last time around, Seth Wansing, 2063. Noah Belleville, 2117. So Wansing now half a second quicker than the leader. And 5 seconds ahead of Toby Estes, which, if the pit stops cycle through green, Belleville is sitting in excellent position unless he makes a mistake on pit road, which is possible. We saw a lot of guys in practice spinning coming out of the pits. Coming into the pits as well. Let's see if we can ride on board with the 8 car. Watch for the flat part in turn 4 on the low line. Right in that pit entrance. It gets flat a lot quicker than you think. Let's go on board with the 8 here on the fender. Watch for the entrance of pit road on the left side of your screen. Toby staying off that flat part there, but some guys will try to take the advantage. They'll try and get a little more corner so they could line up the entrance of turn number 1, and just when the car just gets unbalanced. When the car gets unbalanced on that flat part, you lose all control because there's a lot less grip than you thought there was. Driver inputs there in the bottom right corner. Seth Wansing gets around Thomas Andrews. For the 8th position, Andrews in the wall, maybe just trying to stay out of the way in the Season 4 champion. Is it time for him to come into the pits? It is time for him to come into the pits. So the New Jersey pilot decides he's going to drop out of the top 10, get tires and fuel. Noah Belleville still out. It's been 88 laps, and he has blown our pit window predictions out of the water. Noah Belleville with a 5.5 second lead. While green flag pit stops have gotten underway, they have very mildly with a whimper. Not the kind of fury that you would expect to come down into the pits. Tommy Withers running in that 10th position now. He's only 2 seconds inside of the top 10. John Honeybrink chasing him down. And Seth Wansing just tearing through everybody. Let's go on board with the 9. Toby Estes decided it's his time to come into the pits. The number 8 car is in. Now he's down and he's out of the pits. Look at that bump as he came out of the pits. That is just some dangerous stuff. It's amazing these guys just haven't spun it coming out of turn number 1. Estes in the 8 comes up out of turn number 4. He passes Justin Shoup, although not for position. Shoup in second. He still hasn't pitted. The top 3 have not pitted. Ryan Pinnell has also not come down pit road. And Elrich George, who, without a front end to that race car, and he actually has no front end, Elrich George, he's just going to stay out there like that. But, I mean, hey, he's going to try. He's going to stay out as long as he can. And who knows? How many laps down? He's only 2 laps down. If he gets lucky a couple of times, and he might, he won't, but he might. You never know. That's why we love racing. The impossible could happen. Ryan Pinnell now on the outside of Cody Riggs. He's in the 15th position. Riggs still soldiering along. And you got to love that spirit. The guy's going to try, right? He's going to try and make it. Noah Belleville's in. There's the race leader, and fans of the 41 now hoping that he's got his pit lane speed under control. Belleville in that 41 comes down. He's going to get his service, and that's going to put Bealton, Virginia's Justin Shoup out in front of this race. And if the caution comes out now, Shoup's gamble pays off. George has crashed. Elrich George has gone around. Oh, he just blinked there. A big blink for George, and oh, he's gone somewhere. So now, question is, where's everybody else going to go? Justin Shoup still leading this race in the 91. Seth Wansing in that number 9. What happened to George, though? Or did he just have a massive blink? Not sure what. Yeah, just a massive internet just giving out there. George is back, so I think we're good. Justin Shoup, is he signaling on his way into the pit road? Matt Seeger getting around him. The Coors Chevrolet, is it his time? It's time for the Coors Chevrolet. And Tommy Withers has to check up hard as the 91 comes into the pits. That was scary. Justin Shoup comes into the pits. Run that back. Just have a listen to the 6. That could have gone so wrong, but it didn't, and we're grateful that it didn't. But just, you smell a little bit of smoke, and really where there's smoke, there's fire, they say, and the tension just gets a little bit higher. 19 to go in that second duel at Daytona. Bubba Wallace still leading the way with Chris Bell behind him. Justin Haley in third. Did I say BJ McLeod earlier? Was that Justin Haley? I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I think that is Justin Haley. I think I called him BJ McLeod earlier. I have no idea, but I think, did BJ McLeod drive the 15? That's the 51. I'm sorry. I need glasses. Anyway, back to this race. We're inside of the final 80 laps of competition. Seth Wansing sits out front in that number 9. Noah Belleville, 7 seconds behind him. But Belleville has tires that are 20 laps more fresh than Seth Wansing. Look at that. Last time around, Noah Belleville, 0.8 quicker. This time on lap 101, Noah Belleville, 1 second quicker than Seth Wansing. So that means Wansing's going to be done for in 6 laps. But as the adage goes, it's one thing to catch him. It's another thing to pass him. That is BJ McLeod. Okay, I knew I wasn't stupid, right? I knew I... Okay, see, I take back what I said. I wasn't incorrect. Just saw him come down into the pits. Bubba Wallace almost getting into it with somebody trying to come out of the pits. It's 17 laps to go this time by in that duel. It's green flag pit stops, by the way. You've got 5 Fords at the front of that race, led by Michael McDowell, and at the back it's Brad Keselowski. And here comes some more guys into the pits. Seth Wansing still leading this race. Justin Shoup now within 0.3 of a second to Rockwall's Donald Ray. Here's the battle for 7th. Cody Riggs slow on the racetrack. I think he might have just gone off the track briefly, but it looks like we're good to go so far. The first round of green flag pit stops complete. Wansing still leading this race, but now he's about to lose that gap from 3 seconds down into 2 and change. Belleville is coming quickly on that number 9 with Cody Riggs just in front of that 41 and Briley right to the inside of Cody Riggs, the 2 Bluegrass Bandits side by side. Briley currently running in the 9th position. Honeybrink in that number 18 sits in 12th right now. Ryan Pinnell quickly catching him up. And the 18's finally going to come down into the pits, so Seth Wansing continues to lead this race. And now it gets just a little bit spicy back here. The number 5 of Donald Ray in 6th. Briley Wright to the inside of Tommy Withers. And then Noah Belleville, who's trying to catch up for the lead in this race. The 41 just pinched to the inside of the 29, and I'm just sitting here frozen, just waiting for something to happen. And everybody makes it through safe and sound for now. 111 laps underway. Thomas Andrews now on the inside of Richie Catania. Those two battling it out for the 9th position. Catania on the outside of Andrews. Withers now coming up behind the 2-9. Or rather, is he falling off? Back to these two. The number 2 just trying to hold off the 2-4 and the 14 of Tom Sears behind that 2 car. And there's Briley Wright just going off the racetrack. What happened to the 2-9? Big damage on the 2-9. He's going to come down into the pits and get that fixed, but Briley Wright just without a front end. What happened? This is Cody Riggs slow. This is on lap 106, so this is 6 laps ago. Wonder if this had anything to do with Briley. No, Cody just loses it out of turn number 4. He goes for a spin by himself. And if you're new to TNT, 1 car spinning by themselves does not constitute a caution. This is Briley Wright coming out of turn number 2, and he just loses it by himself. And that's 2 Bluegrass Bandits going down in 5 laps. Tom Sears has crashed. Cody Riggs and Belleville are involved too. Caution is out. What happened here? Noah Belleville involved. And this is huge. What happened? This is Sears in the 14. Did he also get loose? Oh, he just went skating into turn number 3. And the Supra can't quite complete the Tokyo Drift through the corner. Richie Catania also loses it again. There goes the 14. Where does Noah Belleville come into this? He also came up with a crash thing, but does that mean that he just had a blink? Oh, there goes the 41. He was just tagged by the 3. But really no harm, no foul. How about Tommy Withers and Toby Estes? Wow. And Tommy Withers almost collides with the wall. And I think Thomas Andrews almost got involved. Have a look. He just checks up, tries to avoid the 8. And if he touched the wall, you can't see it. And he backs up into the 2 car. On board with Thomas Andrews in the 2. Trying to drive through a graveyard and watch for the 6 to back up. And just a crunch on the door. So Thomas Andrews got a piece of that one. He's sitting in the 6th position so far. He's got damage on the right front, but I want to see if he's got any damage on the left side of this race car too. Ah, you can't see a scratch. He'll be all right. He's at the front of the line. Seth Wansing leading this race in that number 9 DuPont Chevrolet. We're about to restart inside the final 60 laps of competition. That's our 2nd caution tonight. Now, Seth Wansing hasn't pitted since lap 74. The cars can do more than 60 on a green flag run, but is he gambling on going green to the end of this race? Well, let's find out. Seth Wansing, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Hey, Rick, I got you.
Hey, buddy, you're sitting in the lead in that number 9 DuPont Chevrolet, and Noah Belleville has caught up to you one way or the other, whether you like it, and his tires are 20 laps more fresh than yours. Is there any sort of defense here?
Well, fresh tires that we just got on pit road is a great defense. So we're back to even now, but Noah's been pretty dominant. It's going to be hard to hold him off, though. But we'll see. We'll see what we can't do. Just, I mean, if it goes like that, we'll have a 60-lap run to the end. So it's who takes care of their stuff the best.
Did y'all come down pit road while I was watching the crash? I must have missed it. I had, you know what? Maybe if I just probably read my statistics that told me the last pit lap was 116. I might have caught up with that. So that's
Sure did.
That's on me for not paying attention. But we're gonna go green, buddy. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Thank
we're
you,
not
Rick.
going green.
No, we got one more lap. If you want to talk still.
No, but hey, I'm gonna let you focus. I almost screwed you up here for the restart, so we're gonna let you focus, man, and you enjoy the rest of this race. Hopefully, we talk to you soon.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hope everybody at home's enjoying, and hope you're having a good call, Rick.
That's gonna be really embarrassing if me talking to Seth is the reason that they didn't go green. But anyway, I appreciate the awareness. Seth Watsing is leading this race. Noah Belleville on his outside. Toby Estes sitting in third. And yeah, I guess I did miss the whole field coming down into the pits. Thomas Andrews did not. Tommy Withers did not. They pitted on laps 86 and 87 respectively. Jimmy Kerr III also stayed out. He is 2 laps down. Green flag is out and Watsing gets us kicked off. And Belleville's really going to be an attack on the outside. Belleville in that 41 wants a piece of the 9. But now Matt Seeger, the rookie, is going to move to the inside of Noah Belleville. These two are going to fight it out for second. If you just tuned in, we've got just under 60 laps to go. John Honeybrink on the outside. Running in the 14th position. And there goes Honeybrink. He just gets loose out of turn number 3, but he keeps the car moving. No crash, no caution. Honeybrink running in 15th. Watsing still leading this race, and Noah Belleville on full attack with Grandma Jeannie really enjoying the race. .127 laps on the board, putting an eye on that Daytona duel. They just had a crash up front. Not sure who was involved. Run this back and we'll find out here. Drivers with fresh tires here on lap 116, so if they go green to the end, they'd have some worn tires, but they'd go green all the way to the end. They've got the fuel to make it. Toby Estes, he just went green with 1980 up on the board. Looking back at this Daytona Duels crash, the 12 of Ryan Blaney caught a piece of the action, and a big piece. His car's on fire. Toby Estes now walking away from Justin Shute, but with a distance to Matt Seeger, and this is the battle for first here. Looks like that in that Daytona crash, the 24 of William Byron, the 14 was involved, the 12 of Blaney got, oh, it's a big one. There's a lot of guys involved in this one. Looks like BJ McLeod got a piece of that one as well. Noah Belleville wants to get a piece of Seth Watsing out of turn number 4. Plenty of time as Noah Belleville and Seth Watsing both shake the car's tail out just a bit. Matt Seeger, the rookie, sits in third. We've got 49 laps to go next time by. Chase Briscoe in that 14, he got a piece of that Daytona crash. Noah Belleville in the similar looking Office Depot 41 wants no piece of any crash. He sits in second right now. Belleville sitting second in the points, but winless so far. An average finish of 4th this season. We'll see if he can bump that up a little bit with a win. And Matt Seeger just minding his own business, sitting 5th in those points right now. The Drip Diecast and Collectibles points showing you the rookies are showing out this season. Prince leading, Shoop, Lindemann, Seeger, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Dale Markowski, who's not in this race, running in 7th. So Ryan Pennell, who's running in 11th right now, he may be off the pace, but he stands to benefit from these drivers not being in this race tonight. Nicholas Pressey, he's in 11th. Connor Cordes, not in this race tonight. Donald Ray, he is in this race tonight. 14th in points. And he finds himself 10 points out of the top 10. Donald Ray currently running 6th. It's going to be a huge shakeup in these standings. I'm really excited for the rest of this race. For the rest of this season, we're approaching 40 laps to go at North Wilkesboro. And in a week, we have Darlington. That's going to be off the hook as well. That's going to be so much fun to watch. Wansing still leads. Is Belleville just keeping him on ice? Is he just applying the pressure? Is Wansing actually playing good defense? I mean, both are extremely possible because Belleville is right there. And you've seen Belleville look to the inside, but you really haven't seen him attempt the pass yet. He's just keeping the heat right on the back end of that 9. Matt Seeger now a full second behind this battle for the top 3. Seeger in the 16. Toby Estes in the 8, separated by 1 1/4 seconds. And over the last 5 laps, Toby Estes has been taking small chunks out of Seeger's lead. That number 8 runs in the 4th position. Still plenty of race to go. We just entered the final 40 laps of this race. Jimmy Kerr on the outside. John Honeybrink also on the outside. Richie Catania, the first car, 1 lap down. Tommy Withers, the last car on the lead lap. Both of these gentlemen would love to see a caution. Look at Tommy Withers getting really loose out of 4 right in front of the leaders. And it just gets more dangerous, doesn't it? Withers still there on the low line and not really anywhere for him to go. He finally gets on the brakes where he can and tries to stay out of the leader's way, but that got hairy. Tommy Withers out of 4. Jimmy Kerr gets into him. Seeger into Kerr, and we've got a couple cars going around out of turn number 4. Kerr, look at the 91 of Justin Shoop. He's involved as well, and the caution comes out for the 3rd time tonight. Briley Wright looks like he also had an incident here. There's the 2.9 right there. And that he lost a lot of positions there. Briley's now running in 17th. I think he may have just parked the race car. Now let's have a look here because this is Elridge George on 136. Let's see what happened more recently. Another big blink there, and then Jimmy Kerr just goes around. But what happens with Withers here? I just think Kerr didn't expect Withers to be that slow trying to gather his race car. Withers got the least worst of it. And then the 75 of Kerr just accelerates right where Justin Shoop is. Keep your eye on that 7.5. And the 91 barrels into him. See if we can get a better look. Let's see if we can find what happened here from both cars' point of view. This is with Kerr. Seeger gets into him with nowhere to go. Justin Shoup coming in the 91 car. And just what could Justin Shoup be thinking at a time like this? One more time with Kerr. Tom Sears putting the brakes on and avoiding that one. So Jimmy Kerr puts it into the pits. I think Briley Wright may have called it a day. He is out of this race after falling off the racetrack. Cody Riggs still runs in that number 3 car. Jimmy Kerr still in the pits. John Honeybrink in 14th, and the caution being waved off as cars are still trying to catch back up. So Seth Wansing still has the race lead. Noah Belleville in that 41 on the outside. It's going to be 31 laps to go when we take the green. And if you're also interested in those Daytona duels, there is 11 laps to go in this race. Michael McDowell is leading. Denny Hamlin's in that second position. Austin Cindric running in third. Chris Bell fourth. I was about to say Joe Nemechek. That's how long it's been since I actually paid attention to this to these drivers. It's John Hunter Nemechek in the 5th position. And we're about to go green here again. 31 laps to go. Noah Belleville in that 41. Seth Wansing in the 9. Great jump by the 9, and Wansing is gone. Here comes Toby Estes. Fantastic jump, and they both timed the jump beautifully. Estes trying to hold off Seeger in the 16. Belleville not falling behind for long. Chase is on. Seeger on the outside of Toby Estes in that 8 car. That's the fight for the 3rd position. Donald Ray sits in 5th now, trying to get one move up on the rookie. Justin Shoup decided not to come down into the pits under that latest caution, while the top 6 did. Seth Wansing puts in his personal best, 1980 for him. Donald Ray, 20.05. Tommy Withers breaks the 20-second threshold. His best lap, 1999. And the track is only getting faster. Wansing goes purple, 1979, fastest lap today. Belleville hot on his heels. Last time around, advantage Belleville, coming to 26 laps to go. .155 laps now underway. Seth Wansing leading by a quarter of a second on Noah Belleville. Toby Estes running in 3rd with Seeger in 4th. Rockwall's Donald Ray in 5th as Thomas Andrews gives a big tail whip out of the corner. Richie Catania now on the inside of Justin Shoup. Catania, he pitted on lap 145. Shoup did not. Justin Shoup staying on the lead lap. Is he thinking long game, gambling on another caution? If a yellow does come out, Shoup can come down, not lose a lap, and maybe repair the car just a little bit more. Jimmy Kerr, the third, running in the 16th position, still trying to get the race car fixed. Cody Riggs in 15th. Kaz Grala in this Daytona race, I should say, while we watch the race for the lead. Kaz Grala sitting in the 7th position right now, David Reagan in 10th, and BJ McLeod in 13th. If the race ends now, those three drivers transfer through. They're going to restart in that race with fewer than 9 laps to go. Thomas Andrews trying to work on Donald Ray with Richie Catania, trying to catch up to him, but it's a 3-second gap. Fans at home, if you see any of these race cars that you love tonight, you think to yourself, man, I used to love that race car. I had a die-cast of that race car. Go ahead and get yourself another one. Thomas Andrews in that number 2. Who doesn't remember that blue deuce? We were talking about Tommy Withers in the 6. We were also talking about Richie Catania in the 2-4 and Seth Wansing in the 9. You can get your hands on all of these awesome pieces of NASCAR memorabilia or cars that look just like them on Drip Diecast and Collectibles. It's the #1 Facebook store for NASCAR memorabilia, and they're on eBay too. Drip Diecast and Collectibles on Facebook and on eBay. Head on down there, grab your piece of NASCAR memorabilia. Get cars that look just like these. $18 laps to go this time by Seth Wansing, still leading ahead of Noah Belleville in that number 9. And when's the last time Seth Wansing won a Thursday Night Thunder race? He won in Mazda Mondays a couple of weeks ago, but imagine him getting that win in TNT. Noah Belleville sits behind him, winless this season. This is round number 4 for the part-timer. Maybe tonight's the night. Don't count out Toby Estes. Never count out the Bluegrass Bandits. With 16 laps to go next time by, Toby Estes, I don't know if he's led a lap yet, but he's been there. If these two make contact, if these two even slip, Toby Estes will be there to take the lead, and he's only 8/10 away from the leader. With lap traffic in the way, there's Toby Estes' shot right there to catch up to these leaders, and he's going to take that opportunity. 2.5 seconds off the leaders, rookie Matt Seeger. He wants to get into 3rd in these point standings. With Justin Shoup 3rd in the points, just getting involved in that crash, this is the moment for Matt Seeger to leapfrog Shoup, get into 3rd, and establish a championship fight. We've seen rookies win the TNT title before. Maybe it's his turn. Donald Ray running in the top 5. You love to see it. Definitely a driver that's gone more full-time to part-time, but we love to see him compete either way. And he's not incapable of winning. He won the Texas race, season 4. Maybe North Wilkesboro could be magic for him as well. The Lone Star pilot from Rockwall sits 4 seconds behind the lead. And Noah Belleville gets closer to the back bumper of Seth Wansing, and he's opened up the door on the inside. Wansing's really going to have to dig deep to block the 41 out of turn number 2, and Toby Estes now gets closer himself. Wansing holding on to that lead as tight as he can. There goes Belleville in the 41, just following closely, wondering what he can make of this. The Rainbow Warrior 9 has 10.5 more laps to hold off that 41. Estes in the 8. He's ready to pounce. That's the battle for first. That's how close it is. Wansing in the 9, just ahead of Belleville in that 41. Estes running third. Matt Seeger running in that 4th position. Drivers pretty spread out as they cascade down the running order. But with 8 laps to go, has Noah Belleville been behind Seth Wansing enough to learn his moves, to learn his mannerisms? 8 laps to go in this 4th Thursday Night Thunder race at North Wilkesboro. Drivers really exploring the flat part of turn number 4. Seth Wansing really getting low in his defense. Does Noah Belleville know this? Is he going to force the issue on Wansing? 7 to go in this race. 3 to go in the Daytona race next time by. Christopher Bell leading this race with Denny Hamlin to his outside. Kaz Gralla still in the transfer position, as is David Reagan. BJ McLeod now battling with Michael McDowell to get into the Daytona 500. And Seth Wansing with 6 laps to go, still ahead of Noah Belleville. And I wish we had a monitor to see just how hard their hearts are racing, because this has got to be tense. See Noah Belleville with the wheel cocked to the right just a little bit. Elridge George might have had another blink in that 40 car. And he scrapes the wall there as the leaders come to 4 laps to go. And next time that the Cup cars come around at Daytona, it's going to be 2 laps to go. Now they're getting 3 wide at Daytona. They're making some risky moves. And we'll see if they get to the end of this one. Seth Wansing now just 3 laps away from victory at North Wilkesboro. Belleville in the 41, that Office Depot Chevrolet. He wants the win. He has been up front for the majority of this race, but you've got to give it to Wansing, who has put the practice in. He's put the work in to be here, and he also deserves the win. 1.5 miles to go in this race. They're coming to the white flag at Daytona. Gralla, McLeod, and who the hell is that in the 60 car? I have no... Oh, that's David Reagan. Okay, they're trying to get into this race. Seth Wansing coming to the white flag at Daytona, at North Wilkesboro. Here's where I get confused. 1 lap to go at North Wilkesboro, while the Cup cars have 1 lap to go at Daytona. The 41 of Noah Belleville has everything to gain by putting pressure on the 9 and a couple more chances to get it done. Wansing puts the defense on out of turn number 2. 1 more shot for Belleville in turn number 3. Wansing has to be steady, but he's got to be sure. Out of the 4th corner, it's Seth Wansing who wins round 4 at North Wilkesboro. Out of turn 4 at Daytona, Denny Hamlin leads. Here comes Christopher Bell. That is not turn 4, that's turn 2. Anyway, Wansing leads. He wins this race, actually. Noah Belleville's in 2nd. Christopher Bell leads at it, too, as the 21 of Jeff Burton gets shoved to the high side. Austin Cindric now behind the 20 of Christopher Bell. They're 3 and almost 4 wide out of turn 4 as BJ McLeod makes the last-ditched effort on the outside. Cindric looks high, Cindric looks low, and Christopher Bell will win dual race number 2. And unofficially, it's Gralla, McLeod, and Reagan in the Daytona 500. And Seth Wansing wins round 4 at Daytona. He's going to burn the house down. Seth will continue to celebrate. We're going to get the top 3 on the podium. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll have top 3 in just a moment. On the podium with our top three, starting with the Bluegrass Bandits, being championed today by Toby Estes in that number 8 Budweiser car. Toby, great run. Fantastic third-place finish. What more did you need to get to the 41 and the 9?
Rear grip, but I think it was impossible to find tonight.
Still a fantastic drive nonetheless. You break into the top 5 in points, headed next week into Darlington. You're only 8 points out of the top 3. Great drive tonight. We'll see you in a week.
Appreciate it, brother.
Tonight's silver medalist, driver of the number 41 Office Depot Chevrolet, Noah Belleville, with an average start of second and an average finish of 4th. No wins this season, but you're going to take a 7-point lead into next week at Darlington. Now, do you think you finally might try that full-time season and win the TNT Championship?
I told you I was going to try it since the start. Come on, Rick. Gotta believe in me.
So now we got another week, next week at Darlington. We've heard full-time from you before. This is finally the full-time season?
I think so.
We'll take your word for it. We'll see you in a week's time at Darlington. Congratulations on second.
Yep.
Fans at home, don't forget to check out our partners over at Drip Diecast and Collectibles, your number 1 Facebook store for NASCAR memorabilia, and they're on eBay too. Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Get yourself a gift. Get yourself a piece of that NASCAR history. Get a gift for somebody else. Doesn't matter. Check them out. Facebook and eBay, Drip Diecasts and Collectibles. Tonight's winner, the pride of Kansas City and the number 9 DuPont Chevrolet, Seth Wansing, with a win in Thursday Night Thunder. Seth, how about it, man?
Holy smokes, what a race. I hope it was as fun and as nerve-wracking on the broadcast as it was for me in the car, Rick.
I tell you, just watching this, you think to yourself, well, the 41 of Belleville, he's got so many more TNT wins. He's been here before. He can get the job done. And you think to yourself, it's kind of an underdog story when you think, really, if you put up the 4's resume or the 41's resume versus the 9, you think the 41's got this. But it had to take a lot of defense and probably a lot of stiff hands from gripping that wheel so hard, trying to focus on holding off Belleville.
Yeah, Noah's an extremely talented kid. I knew it was going to be a battle to hold him off. I just tried to take care of the rear tires while going as fast as possible in North Wilkesboro. I love this track and I hate it. It's so difficult to do that. But was able to do it, was able to keep him behind me. Want to thank him for racing me clean and not getting into me. He could have done it a couple times and, had a couple opportunities. I think I slid once I finally started to pull away by a couple tenths and kind of brought him back in. But hell of a race. I was going to do a 2-stop strategy. I pitted with 75 laps, and I could have ran it to make it on 1 stop, and that was it, like everybody else was doing, and was just going to try to get to about 140 and pit again with about 40 laps to go and try to have fresh tires and kind of do what I did to kind of get myself the lead and cycle back out. Just pit had a lot fresher tires than everyone else. They're driving back through the field. So was going to be interesting to see how that played out. I can't lie, I'm not the best at strategy, so I'm happy that caution came out so I didn't have to really see how that played out. And that really got me control of the race. Noah and Toby were phenomenal, and I could run with them, but I don't know. I don't know if I was going to be able to straight up pass them, without really burning my stuff up. So it was nice to have control of the race and had a good, hard, clean, exciting finish from there. But yeah, really, really fun racing Noah. A lot of fun.
Fantastic win for you as well, and now you get to carry all this good luck into Darlington. We'll see you in a week's time at the Lady in Black.
Thank you, Rick.
Fans at home, that covers it for tonight. Don't forget that the racing doesn't stop just because it's not Thursday. Monday night, we take those little MX-5s to Concord Speedway. We're going to have a blast. We hope you're going to join us. If you haven't tuned into Mazda Monday yet, please do. We're in our 3rd season, and we're just having fun with it. So if you like to watch some fun racing, come on down on Monday nights, 8:30, right here, Rick James TV. And then next week, we take this Gen 4 circus to the Darlington Raceway. TNT Round 5 at the Lady in Black. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all around